You said yes, again. And the moment you said it, something in you went quiet. Not sad exactly, just quiet. The way something goes quiet when it has been ignored one too many times. You know that feeling. You have known it for years. The favor you agreed to when you were already running on empty. The plan you did not cancel even though every part of you was desperate for one night alone. The opinion you swallowed in a room full of people because the energy of disagreeing felt like more than you could afford. And then later, in the car, in the shower, in the dark before sleep, the version of you that wanted to say no sits with you quietly. Not angry, just tired. You have probably told yourself 100 times that you need to stop doing this, that you need to learn to say no, that you need to stop caring so much what people think. And then the next time someone asks, the next time you feel the pull of someone else's expectation, the yes comes out before the decision has been made. And you are back here again, tired, a little resentful, not sure why you keep doing this. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you something today that you have probably never thought about yourself before. Something that explains the most difficult relationships in your life. Something that explains why you keep ending up in the same rooms with the same kinds of people, no matter how many times you tell yourself it will be different. But first, that moment, the moment it was built, not because you were weak, not because you are broken, but because something happened to you, long before you had any power over what happened to you, that made saying yes the only option that felt safe. And your nervous system never got the message that the danger had passed. Let me take you back, not to a dramatic moment, not to one single event that explains everything, to something much smaller. You were young, and the people you loved, the people your survival literally depended on, had moods. And those moods had consequences, not always loud ones. Sometimes the consequences were in a silence that lasted too long, a withdrawal of warmth that came without explanation, a room that changed temperature and nobody told you why. And you were a child with a child's mind and a child's nervous system, doing what every child does, trying to make sense of it, trying to find the pattern, trying to find the thing you could do or stop doing that would make the room safe again. And at some point, through trying and failing and trying again, you found something that worked. When you made them comfortable, the discomfort in the room decreased. When you smiled and agreed and made yourself pleasant and helpful and undemanding, the temperature came back up. When you asked for nothing, there was more space for you to exist without causing a problem. You were not thinking about any of this consciously. You were just a child trying to feel safe. But your nervous system was taking notes, and the note it wrote, in ink that does not come out easily, was this: other people's comfort is the price of your safety. Make them okay and you will be okay. Need nothing and you will be allowed to stay. That note became a reflex. That reflex became a personality. That personality has been following you into every room, every relationship, every moment between being asked and responding ever since. And here is something I need to tell you now, something that changes everything. That note, the one your nervous system wrote, it did not just affect your relationships. It decided who you were going to become. It decided what you would believe about your own worth. It decided what you would accept from people. It decided what you would ask for and what you would never allow yourself to ask for. And here is the part that most people never hear. The reason you keep trying so hard to make difficult people comfortable, the reason you keep working to earn the approval of people who withhold it, is not because you are naive. it is because somewhere deep in your nervous system, making that difficult person finally okay with you feels like it will heal something old, something that has nothing to do with them. You are not trying to change them. You are trying to finish something that started before them. But it will not finish there, because they are not the ones who started it. And I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like in your daily life right now, so you can see it clearly, maybe for the first time. The first pattern is the yes that came before the thought. Someone asks you something, a favor, an invitation, a request that lands in a moment where part of you knows, clearly, immediately, that you do not have the capacity. And you say, yes, before the knowing has a chance to become a response.
And then you spend the next several hours, or days, managing the consequences of that yes. The resentment you cannot express because you agreed voluntarily. The exhaustion of delivering on something you never actually chose. The private frustration with yourself that has nowhere to go. And the part that makes this cycle so hard to break is this. The yes felt like a choice. It felt like you chose to be generous, chose to be helpful. But the flicker that came before the yes, the thing that already knew, that was your actual answer. And it never had a chance. The second pattern is the apology before the wrong. You apologize constantly for things that are not your fault, for taking up space, for having a need, for inconveniencing someone by existing in a way that does not perfectly accommodate their experience. And when someone is upset, even when their upset has nothing to do with you, something in you immediately begins the audit. What did I do? What is my role in this? How do I fix it? The assumption, deeply embedded, that someone else's discomfort is somehow your responsibility. Now, let me show you what this looks like in a real moment. Imagine this scene. You are at a group dinner. Everything is fine. The conversation is easy. The evening is pleasant. And then someone at the table, a friend, a partner, someone you care about, goes quiet. Their mood shifts. Nothing happened. No argument, no incident. They are simply somewhere else suddenly. And you feel it immediately, before anyone else in the room has noticed. And automatically, without choosing to, you start scanning. What did I say? Was I talking too much? Did I say the wrong thing 20 minutes ago? Should I change the subject? Should I ask if they are okay? Should I not ask in case that makes it worse? You spend the rest of the dinner adjusting, monitoring, managing, working to restore something you did not break. And on the way home, you are exhausted from a dinner that required nothing from you. That is the real cost of people-pleasing. Not the big moments, not the dramatic sacrifices, the quiet, daily exhaustion of spending your energy on other people's atmospheres in rooms where nobody asked you to, leaving nothing for yourself. The third pattern is the self-erasure that happens in increments. You are in a conversation and you have an opinion, a genuine one, but you read the room. You sense what the other person wants to hear, and your opinion, without a dramatic decision to abandon it, quietly adjusts. You do this so automatically, so consistently, that over time you lose track of where your actual opinion is. You know what you are likely to say, but the raw first reaction version, the version before the editing, that version has been filtered so many times that accessing it requires effort that should not be necessary. You shape-shifted to survive. And the shape you shifted into became so practiced that you started to mistake it for yourself. Now, here is the midpoint of this video, and this is where it gets most important. Because the patterns I have just shown you, the automatic yes,
the preemptive apology, the self-erasure. Those are the visible behaviors. But here is what almost nobody understands about people-pleasing. The most damaging thing it does is not what it costs you in individual moments. It is what it does to your relationship with yourself over time. Because when the constant background question is, what do they need? How are they feeling? What is the safe way to exist in this dynamic? Your own internal experience becomes secondary. You feel things, but you process them through a prior filter. Is this okay to feel? Is this appropriate to express? Will this be a burden? Before you allow them to have any weight. You have needs, but you pre-abandon them, deciding they are not worth having, not worth voicing, before they have a chance to be met. And over years of this, through thousands of dinners and favors and swallowed opinions, something happens that is very specific and very quiet. You stop knowing yourself. Not dramatically, just gradually. You discover that when someone asks what you want, genuinely, with real interest, you do not know how to answer. Not because you have no preferences, but because the muscle of accessing them, of letting yourself want something without first running it through the filter of whether it is safe to want, has not been used. And muscles that are not used lose their strength. The second thing it does is this, and this is the part that I promised you at the beginning, the part that explains the most difficult relationships in your life. The people-pleasing response, the accommodation, the constant readiness to make yourself smaller, is not invisible to people who need someone to operate that way. People who need control can sense it.
People who need someone who will not push back, who will absorb more than their share, who will stay regardless of how they are treated. They recognize it. Not always consciously, but through something older than conscious thought. This person will adjust to me. This person will not require me to change. And so the people-pleasers of this world keep ending up in rooms with people who need exactly what people-pleasers provide. Not because you are broken, because you were familiar with that room. You learned what love felt like in a specific kind of room, and your nervous system kept finding its way back, trying to finally get it right, trying to finally earn the thing that was withheld. This time, in this relationship, with this person. And it will not work. Not because you are not enough, but because the thing you were trying to earn was never theirs to give. Now what actually helps? The first thing is learning to find the flicker. Before every yes, there is a moment. It is fast, sometimes less than a second, but it is there. The part of you that already has an answer before you give the acceptable one. Your work starting today, in the smallest interactions, is not to change what you say yet. It is simply to notice that the flicker exists, that there is a you underneath the accommodation, that has preferences, that has limits, that has things it actually wants. Just notice it. Do not act on it yet if that feels like too much. Just witness it. That noticing is the beginning of everything. The second thing is practicing the pause. When someone asks something of you before the automatic yes forms, breathe once and ask yourself one question. If this person would be completely fine with any answer, if there were truly no consequences to saying no, what would I say? You do not have to say it out loud. Just hear it. Because the goal at first is not to change what you say. It is to know the difference between what you say and what you actually mean. And once you can hear that difference clearly, you have something to work with. The third thing is tolerating the discomfort of disappointing someone. This is the hardest part, because your nervous system was trained to experience someone else's disappointment as danger. And when you first start saying no, when you first let someone be disappointed without rushing to fix it, your body is going to respond as if something terrible is happening. The guilt, the anxiety, the urgent need to take it back. That is not evidence that you did something wrong. That is the old training responding to something new. Every time you sit with that discomfort without fixing it, every time you let the disappointment exist, you are teaching your nervous system something that nobody taught it when it needed to learn: that their disappointment is survivable, for them and for you. The fourth thing is finding one relationship where you practice being known. Not performing, not accommodating, not presenting the version that will be easiest to receive. Just being what you actually are, with one person who can hold it. Because the people-pleasing was built in relationship, in the experience of other people's reactions to who you were. And it can only be unbuilt in relationship, in the experience of someone receiving the unedited version of you and staying. That experience is the one that actually rewrites the note. The one that tells the nervous system, slowly, through repeated proof, that you can exist fully and still be allowed to stay. And now I want to speak to you directly, before the last thing. You have spent your life taking care of people. You have made rooms comfortable that were not your responsibility to make comfortable. You have absorbed disappointment that was not yours to absorb. You have given generously, consistently, quietly, without being asked, to people who often did not notice the cost. And somewhere in all of that giving, somewhere in all of that making yourself smaller and more acceptable and easier to be around, nobody asked you if you were okay. Nobody asked what you wanted. Nobody turned toward you with the same attention you were giving in every direction. So I am asking, are you okay? What do you want? What has been sitting in you, quiet and patient and tired of waiting, that has not been allowed to finish its sentence? Whatever it is allowed. The needs are allowed. The limits are allowed. The no is allowed. What happened to you? Whatever made saying yes feel safer than saying no, that was not your fault. You were too young, and you did what you had to do. You do not have to do it anymore. And now, the thing I promised you, the thing nobody says out loud. Here it is. The yes that cost you something was not weakness. It was loyalty. Loyalty to a version of safety you learned before you had any other option. And the people who have benefited from that loyalty, consciously or not, have received something extraordinary from you. They have received you
At great cost. Consistently. Quietly. Without complaint. And now, for the first time, you are being invited to give some of that loyalty to yourself. To be as patient with your own needs as you have been with everyone else's. To extend to yourself the same grace you have given so freely in every direction except inward. The flicker that came before the yes, the quiet thing that knew. It has been waiting, not to make you selfish, not to make you hard, just to be heard, once, before the yes comes out. Just once. Let it finish its sentence. If this video gave you language for something you have been living with quietly for a very long time, please share it with one person
who is still saying yes before they have a chance to say anything else. Because somewhere right now, someone is in that gap between being asked and answering, and the flicker is there, and it deserves a chance. Subscribe, because this channel exists for exactly that. I will see you in the next one.